In the meantime, I've got a very big roll of sellotape, and I'm busy sticking all the pages back into all the textbooks.
Meaning that you photocopy the book if you have a
No, just to reinforce the pages, because they get worn and used, and so I'm reinforcing the spine of the pages by sellotaping all the pages in.
Now, let me make this very clear. You cannot get these books from the bookshops.
No.
It's not possible.
No.
So the public schools are supplied by the ministry, and that's where it stops.
That's my understanding.
That's your understanding.
That's my understanding.
We'll have to find out whether that's true or not. I'm sure the Honourable Minister might not miss this program anyway. Yes. All right. Let's still on the school.
Sure.
And how are the children reacting to all of this? Seeing that here we have a lot of what we call tubabs.
Yes.
Running our school. They're comfortable.
They are comfortable. I think children are far more flexible than we are as adults. They don't recognise the same boundaries and the same discriminations that perhaps we do when we get older. So as far as they're concerned, their sponsor is their sponsor, and they treat that person as a member of their family in the way they would. The staff at the school, with the exception of one volunteer, are all locally engaged. They are all local Gambian staff, and so actually the running of the school, there are odd visits, you know, twice a year. You have this wave of tubabs come in, and they disrupt the class for, you know, 2 weeks and sort of take lots of photographs. But the rest of the time, the school is run as a Gambian school by Gambian staff, and there are just 1 or 2 volunteers like myself who are around about in order to just assist the staff with what they're doing in some capacity or another. So ordinarily, it just runs as a normal Gambian school would.
Does the school, Sidlin's lower basic school, try to tap in some sponsorship from tourists who come to the Gambia, especially those in the hotels here? Because I am involved with some hotels here.
Yep.
By virtue of what I do. I mean, and I see a lot of British who come on holiday, go
Yep.
out to schools and donate pens, books, and other materials. Does Sidlin try to attract some of that donor from the hotels?
At the moment, there isn't a structure in place to do that. But actually, it's really interesting you should mention that, because it's one of the conversations that I've been having with the headmaster and the senior managers at the school. And it's something that we've decided, we think, or they have decided they think they would like to try. So certainly that's an opportunity which is not currently being utilised, but would be a very good way of bridging the gap between the tourism which is coming in and the funding needs of the school. So yes, certainly that's absolutely something that we could try, and we're hoping to be able to put in place some structures to do that.
Somebody out there will get us wrong when he or she hears that you're doing a consultancy. They think that you're making megabucks, you're making money. If you say, I'm consultant for this project, the money's all there.
I wish, Malik.
Do you make money out of this consultancy?
Not at the moment, no. When I'm back in the UK, then I will do paid work for as many months as I can to save up some money, and then come to somewhere like the Gambia to provide my experience and my resources for free. So no, I'm not being paid for this. So this money is not, you know, there's no money being paid to me which should be going to the children. Absolutely not. I'm doing this for free because I think we all have a responsibility to utilise and to use the skills that we have for the good of everybody. Now, the Gambia is not a country that I knew previously. In fact, West Africa is not a place that I'd been previously, but I knew that this school would benefit from some of the experiences that I've had within my career and the profession that I've chosen to go into, and so I offered my services to the charity for 2 months on a pro bono basis. So no money here, I'm afraid.
So the question is like 2 months charity, 10 months in the UK working.
Yeah.
Do you have chance for a holiday, or do you use this 2 months?
I use this 2 months as a chance for a holiday.
And then when you go back to the UK, that's working for the money.
Absolutely, that's right. That's exactly right. Otherwise, if I had that sort of money, I'd sponsor all the children.
You don't have a free ticket to fly to Gambia, a round ticket? Nobody
No, afraid not. Afraid not.
Money. So you use your money, buy the ticket to and from Banjo, and come to Gambia and we should give you a Medal of Honor anyway.
Oh, not at all. It's a pleasure to be here.
Anyway, very good. Your consultancy, how extensive is it?
My consultancy is
it's
only me. No, it's based, I will go wherever there is a need and a job for me to do. So not just based in the Gambia. As I said, I've worked previously with Papua New Guinea as a country as well, and for a variety of different charities in different areas. So some in international development, some with animal rights, some with women's work, and I've done lots of different roles within charities, from being a trustee to being a director for a human rights organisation, etc., etc. So there are lots of different areas that I like to practice and specialise in, and that are interesting to me. But you know what it's like. It depends on where the work comes as to the paid work that I get. So I don't have very much choice over that.
When you look at the mirror and you see Gambia,
yeah,
what do you see? What kind of Gambia do you see?
I see a very beautiful country. I see it's not called the Smiling Coast for a bad reason. It's called the Smiling Coast because it is exactly that. People are incredibly giving and friendly and welcoming. But behind that reality, I think that the tourism industry has really created a lot of problems in its own right. It's a fantastic economic opportunity, but with other challenges that, unfortunately the two bobs bring with. It's a difficult situation to tarry and to marry up. Call it post-colonial guilt, I don't know, but it's a really difficult situation when you have, on the one hand, people walking around appearing as though they have lots of money to flash about, and it makes me feel terrible to see, on the other hand, the poverty that some people have to live in.
You may want to wonder about the Gambia, see what's happening in the neighboring countries. Do you have any plans to travel around?
I do. Funny.
Look at what's happening in the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
What's your itinerary like?
Well, it's a pretty full-on itinerary actually. I'm planning on heading out of the Gambia next week for 2 weeks. It's the Easter holidays at school, so I won't be missing any of the classes. And I'm going to go travelling for 2 weeks through Senegal and some part of Guinea-Bissau before I come back to the Gambia for another 3 weeks before I return to England. So it's going to be a long and bumpy road through to initially to Ziguinchor, up to some of the coastal areas, to Bissau, over to the islands, back to Ziguinchor, along to Cap Skirring, up the coast again, and then finally back through forget the name, back through the south coast to Sylhet and to the Gambia again. So it'll be a fabulous opportunity again